back, unfortunately, with another video. We have a toilet that backed up into a shower this morning, so we came over this afternoon to check it out. I've plunged it. I've tried to snake the toilet, the shower, plunged it. I've traced it back to where the shower drain meets the toilet drain. It goes down into a concrete wall, into a basement wall, which then goes out to the septic system. So looking at it, I don't see any other way to fix this problem other than to pull the toilet and try to snake the drain directly and see what the clog is. So I know the clog is past the intersection of the shower and the toilet, because when I plunge the toilet, the water goes back up into the shower. So I know it's past that point, and the only other point it can be, because it's pretty close. I'll try to show you guys what it looks like for the pipe, but it's pretty close, and then it just makes a hard 90 down into the wall. So I'm gonna get up on the ladder. It's leaking a little bit around the toilet seal anyway, I guess from all the forceful plunging. So we're gonna put a new toilet wax ring on it, and hopefully we can get this drain sorted out. Just be glad you can't smell on this video. Okay guys, so here we are in the ceiling. I'm gonna turn the camera around and let you see what I'm talking about, and try not to get dripped on. So if you see this here, this is the toilet drain coming down. It goes into this little connection here, and then that pipe coming off the top goes back to the shower drain, which is back over there. So the water is backing up at that T connection there and going back into the shower. So then we know that the clog is past that, and the only other spot it can be, and I'll try to get the camera up there, is in this hard 90 that goes down into the concrete wall. So that being said, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm going to pull the toilet. I've got all the water out of I can, which means we're gonna get to do a lot of towels and clean up, but pull the toilet and then see what we can see in the drain down below the toilet. And hopefully that will give us access to snake what we need to, and get this taken care of. All right guys, we're back upstairs. I can probably turn my hat around now that the lighting is a little bit better than it was in the basement. So here's a quick look at the shower. I know that's disgusting. And then here's the toilet. Got all the water out of it. I have the water connection turned off, so we will disconnect this and then remove these from both sides of the toilet. That's still got the cap on it, so we'll remove those two from the sides and then lift the toilet straight up. I always have a towel or cardboard beside the toilet, because when you pick it up, you're not going to want to go very far with it, and it's going to have the nasty wax underneath it, and you know, who knows what else. So be prepared, have that towel waiting there, and then you can pick the toilet straight up. You wiggle it a little bit, but you want it to come straight up so you don't mess up those bolts that are coming out of the floor on both sides. And then sit it down and then do what you got to do. Clean it all up before you put your new wax ring down, and we'll show you that process, hopefully of the removal and replacement of the toilet. When I pull this, there's still gonna be water left in the tank, and so it's gonna leak out through this hole.
That's why Tally says, don't forget to bring a towel.
There's no way to not have water, but you can just flex on this pipe a little bit, it'll bend a little, and then now we have the open access. That's where our tank fills back up. Okay, we're gonna take the bolts, or the nuts off the bolts. Alright guys, here we go. We're gonna lift the toilet off. We've made sure we have this disconnected and the water is turned off. We've removed the nuts from both sides, so now we should be able to lift it straight up bring it over and set it on this towel. Oh gosh, that's disgusting and heavy. Normally, you only make those sounds when you're sitting on it, not when you're picking it up. It's just kind of an odd situation here. I'm going to show you guys. So we have the flange, and then there's the inner rubber grommet going down. The wax ring seems to be quite old, obviously, but only on the back of the commode, on the back of the connection. So we'll see what happens after this. All right, so we got the toilet off, and the water was backed up all the way up to the flange. So snaked it and went down 20 feet and met no resistance at all, and it did not improve anything. So what we have now is a bladder, I think it's what they call it. So yeah, so this bladder will expand to the inside of the pipe, and then it has a small hole here that will shoot a jet of water out.
That's what she said.
So I'm gonna run this 20 feet down or further, however far I can get the hose to go, till we meet resistance, and then we'll turn the water on and see what happens. Okay, so that is that. Now we're meeting where the shower hits. And then we get the other part. That's the problem. I can't make that 90-degree turn down there. The 90-degree that we saw in the basement, this bladder's gonna have to go down that. It's quite difficult to get this hose to go all the way down there. Yeah. Alright, we got the hose as far as I can get it. This is what you're seeing. Let's give it a little bit of light. It's quite disgusting. So now we're going to turn the water on and see what happens. Keep an eye on the shower. There's no air coming back up through the shower. I should probably go check the basement. That just occurred to me. Yeah. Alright guys, so the bladder worked. We got the line cleared out. The shower has been emptied. There may have been a small animal living in it from the looks of it, but all that's gone. If you look down here at the flange, you'll see we've got it all cleaned out. The old wax is gone. There's some staining here. This is a really, really old toilet, but we're gonna put our new wax ring on, and then we'll reseat the toilet, hook everything back up, caulk around it, and then we should be good to go. Alright, we got it good in the line. It's got a plastic sleeve that drops right into the pipe. It came with a bolt kit, but these bolts seem to be very sturdy, So we'll just leave those there, use the same nuts we took off earlier. Now comes the fun part. It's stuck to the bottom. So we gotta get that off. Okay, now all we're gonna do is line it up back on our bolts. Okay, there's my other bolt. Alright, our bolts are in. Now, just apply even downward pressure and let that wax seal close around it. Now you can see we're not wobbling much anymore. So now I'm going to trim off all this old caulk from around the bottom, put the bolts back on, and then we'll hook up the water and see what happens. Alright, I feel very fat. I'm so hot and sweaty. Okay, so the toilet is back in, hooked up. I'm a little nervous, but we're gonna keep the lid off of the tank right now. We're gonna flush it one time and see what happens. Then I'm gonna look in the shower drain, make sure I don't see anything. And then the final test will be, I'm gonna go downstairs and look up in the ceiling to see if I see any leaks. Fingers crossed that we're good. So here we go. Down here. Alright, nothing backing up in the shower. I was a little concerned, but there is a P-trap under the shower, so there's standing water in there. No sign of anything coming back up the line. So I'm gonna put the tank lid on, caulk this, check the basement, and then clean up. Thanks guys.